All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about n8n. And this isn't just another automation tool. This is a full-on automation engine built for technical folks, the ones who really want control, flexibility, and the power to connect pretty much anything to, well, everything else.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been working with an automation tool and just hit a wall? You know the feeling. The one integration you really need isn't there, or the logic is just too rigid to do what you want. It's super frustrating, right? Well, that exact frustration is what n8n is designed to fix.
And just look at this quote. I mean, this really tells you everything you need to know. Rebuilding a 4-week AI feature in just 10 minutes? That's not just saving time. That's a total game changer. It completely flips the script on how fast you can build and test out new ideas. To really get how this works, we're going to break it down into 4 parts. First, we'll cover the big idea, automating things your way. Then, we'll see how to build stuff that's way beyond the basics. After that, we'll talk about going from a quick prototype to a solid production setup. And finally, we'll look at your path to becoming a true master of the tool. So let's start with that core philosophy. What does it even mean to automate your way? Well, it's pretty simple. It's all about putting the control right back where it belongs, in your hands. So at its heart, n8n is a visual platform. You're dragging, dropping, and connecting these things called nodes to build out your workflows. But, and this is a big but, because it's source available and made for people with a bit of technical know-how, it totally breaks free from the usual handcuffs you find on other low-code tools. So what's the secret sauce here? What really makes n8n different? It's all about this blend of two worlds. On one hand, you get a super easy-to-use visual builder, but on the other, you get the raw power and transparency of a source-available platform. This means you can self-host it, giving you total control over your data, and you've got the freedom to extend it however you want. It's that beautiful mix of visual simplicity and deep, deep technical power. This user quote just nails it. A Swiss Army knife for automation. With more than 500 integrations ready to go, plus the power to build your own, you literally have a tool for any situation. You can validate and launch ideas at a speed that's just incredible. Okay, so we've established it's super versatile, but what happens when you need to do more than just a simple if this, then that automation? Let's check out how n8n lets you build some seriously powerful stuff, especially when it comes to AI.
This is a really important distinction to make. You see, an AI like ChatGPT gives you answers in text, but an n8n AI agent, it takes action. It's not just a chat window. It's an engine that can actually go query your APIs, update your CRM, or send emails on its own. It becomes a real agent for your business.
And you know what? Building one is surprisingly simple. You just drop in the AI agent node, you tell it how to behave using some prompts, and then you give it tools, like other n8n nodes or API connections. Finally, you add some logic and maybe some human-in-the-loop guardrails, just to make sure it does exactly what you expect. And for the ultimate level of control, if you have some internal system or a custom API that doesn't have an integration, you can just build your own node. It's awesome. You define the user interface, you write the logic in TypeScript or JavaScript, and then you deploy it right into your n8n instance. It then just works like any other native node. Now that is true extensibility. Okay, so building powerful workflows is one thing, but running them reliably at scale, that's a whole other ballgame. Let's switch gears and talk about what it takes to get n8n from a cool prototype to a rock-solid production system. Now, this is a really critical decision, how you deploy it. When you're just messing around or developing, sure, a simple single-node setup is perfectly fine. But for production, you've got to go with queue mode. It's essential. Basically, it splits the main process from the workers. And why does that matter? Well, it means you can scale up your workers to handle a ton of traffic without ever slowing down the main editor. It keeps everything responsive, even when things get really busy. And performance isn't just about the architecture, right? It's also about building smart workflows. The way you structure your automations, how they handle data, how they process tasks, that can make a huge difference in speed and stability. It's what turns a good workflow into a truly great one. This right here shows how ready n8n is for serious work. It exposes a Prometheus metrics endpoint right out of the box. That means you can plug it into professional monitoring tools like Grafana and track everything. Queue health, latency, you name it. You can spot problems long before your users ever do. And of course, we have to talk about security. Being able to self-host is honestly the ultimate privacy feature. Your data stays on your infrastructure, period. But beyond that, n8n is built with real enterprise security in mind, from managing credentials securely to controlling who can access what. It gives you the peace of mind to build with confidence.
So you've got the tool, you know how to run it in production, but how do you go from being just competent to becoming a real expert? Well, that's where the human layer comes in, the community and all the learning resources.
Okay, I absolutely love this piece of advice from a Reddit user because it's just so spot on. The community pretty much all agrees. Once you've got the basics down, don't get stuck in tutorial hell. The fastest way to really learn this thing is to find a real problem you have and just dive in and start building a solution. And the best part is, you're not doing it alone. The whole ecosystem is packed with resources to help you out. There are official courses, tons of templates, and a super active community on the forums and Discord, always ready to help you if you get stuck.
So where does this journey lead? Well, take a look at this case study from a company called Sanctify. They found they could build their solutions 3 times faster using n8n's visual approach compared to writing Python code for a framework like LangChain. 3 times faster. The CEO of Sanctify really said it best. This quote says it all, doesn't it? It speaks to the absolutely limitless potential of the platform. When you can connect to literally any service and write your own custom logic, the barriers just disappear. So, when you really think about it, what does this all mean? It means with a tool this flexible, this powerful, the bottleneck isn't the technology anymore. It's your imagination. The real question is, what are you going to build with it first?